working on my Christmas trees. You know, I was fortunate enough to inherit a lot of costume jewelry, and so this is what I've chosen how to display it, and I've just had the best time. So this one's completed. I've done it with a white background and gold and black. I think that came out very nice. This one, I used all of her special jewelry that she wore at Christmas time, and it always reminds me of her. I even added a picture, so that's extra special. So this is the last one that I'm working on. I tried to make this kind of a fun tree. I'm going to do a lot more bead work on it. This remaining jewelry that I have. So how I get started is I just wrap one of the trees. I've also done these in a globe shape, which was very nice, just with some yarn. So any flavored yarn you like, any color. Like I said, I did this one in white, kind of like a tree that was flocked. I was kind of going for that. This one I just did in kind of a fuzzy green, and it turned out really well. And then you just start stringing your beads. Or this happens to have already been together, and I worked on just draping them around. Some of the material I like to have on hand. This stem wire is what I used to cut probably 2 inches and then make little pins. Really did help. I've got pearlized pins if I choose to just use the straight pen, which I have in here. I've just attached this seashell earring with a pin. So I use a lot of those. I have some tools here that I bought at Michael's. Bought the whole set for like 10 bucks, so that was very handy to have. I also use these floral pins. Sometimes I just kind of use whatever works. So, like I said, I'm just kind of finishing up, so I've got a couple more pieces here that I want to add. Any of your bigger pieces, you kind of just have to place around and see kind of what speaks to you. Earrings come in 2, so I've already used this one here. So I really like to work on a Lazy Susan, but you can just spin it around. My son's godmother's jewelry is clip-on, so I can straighten them out here, and this is styrofoam, so I can press them in. Make sure that you brace the back of the Christmas tree as you're pressing, and you just build layers upon layers. Now this other half I used for the top, so I took it off. I take the jewelry apart quite often. If I can use it whole, I will. I don't like to cover stuff. This was like covering. This is kind of a fun tree. And not stuff that I would wear. So that works fairly well. If I want to secure it more, I have a variety of clips. This one I think would work well here. I can use my tools to just push it in. Another thing I've used is this 28 gauge steel galvanized wire. Pulls out. It's got a nice cutter here. So what I've done here is I've just twisted my metal wire on a bead. I'm going to add a second bead here. Wire's pretty easy to work with. Might get creative and add a couple more different colors here. I've got yellow to work with. So I've got a yellow theme and got different round ones, different sizes. So here I've strung a few beads together that I like. I'm going to just kind of play with it and see where I like best. Wire it here. I'm going to twist it a few times to secure it. Use my wire cutters. Then I had this big piece just kind of cover it. So I liked the fact that I can kind of lay this flat right along here. You want it layered. So I think I'm going to pin this. And sometimes when deciding on where to put the next row, I kind of try to look at it and decide on color. So like I've got a yellow strand here, so I think it would be nice to have a yellow, something yellow here. So I can take my wire, I can measure it pretty much. So I want a strand about this long. Give myself a little bit extra to tie off. So I've decided to use a jump ring to tie this on to. So I'm just twisting my wire around it. I'll have this bead come down and cover it so that I have something to attach to. So here are the completed jeweled memory trees. I would encourage anyone, if you have the jewelry of your mothers or grandmothers, to either make Christmas trees or ornaments. It's a great way to preserve their memory of the ones that you love.